Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español. Our last lesson was huge. It was a star through all the 7 tenses, adding on the ando, yendo, the ing. That is very popular in usage on a daily basis in the Spanish language, just like in English. Okay? Now we want to take a look at haber plus past participle, or haber plus past participle of estar, which is estado, and then your ando yendo. We're going to look at both of those in all the clusters. We're going to go cluster by cluster. Now the verb tener is to have. You use nouns after tener. I don't have money. No tengo dinero. I don't have time. No tengo tiempo. But after haber, it is the auxiliary verb, the helping verb, have. If you want to say that you have done something, something has happened, you would have done something, you should have done something, you had done something, you will have done something, all that comes from the verb haber. Now the present tense, verb number 3 of haber, is has, hemos, han. Remember the H is silent, but in written form you must have the H. Has, hemos, han. Nacer is to be born. If I want to say the baby has been born, right? You use the present tense of haber, has, hemos, han, to say what you have done or what has happened. The baby has been born. El bebé ha nacido. How about comer? We have not eaten. No hemos comido. Llegar. They have not arrived. Ellos no han llegado. Have you paid the bill? Has pagado la cuenta. Leer. Have you read the book? Has leído el libro. How about some irregulars? There's only about 10. Here's a couple common ones. Have you done the homework? Has hecho la tarea? Ver, visto. Have you seen the movie? Has visto la película? Have you put the money in the bank? Poner, puesto. Has puesto el dinero en el banco? Let's try some more here. It has rained. Ha llovido. Nevar. It has snowed. Ha nevado. They have called you. Te han llamado. Mom has prepared dinner. Mamá ha preparado la comida. Salir is to leave. They have left. Han salido. They have arrived. Llegar. Han llegado. So the has, hemos, han is used to say what you have done or what has happened. Okay? Now, let's take it one more step. We just did what you have done or what has happened. Now let's go with what you have been doing or what has been happening. And the way you do that is you take your form of haber, same thing here, then you add estado, which is the ado form of estar, and then you add your ing, ando, yendo, right here. So if I want to say it has been raining, I would go ha estado lloviendo. We have been winning a lot, ganar. Hemos estado ganando mucho. Here's a y ing. She's been reading a lot of books. She has been reading a lot of books. Ella ha estado leyendo. The y swaps out for the I. Ella ha estado leyendo muchos libros. It has been snowing. Nevar. Ha estado nevando. Dad has been sleeping a lot. Papá ha estado durmiendo mucho. Mom has been driving a lot. Mamá ha estado manejando or conduciendo mucho. I've been thinking a lot. Yo he estado pensando mucho. They have been sending us money. Nos han estado mandando dinero. To say what you have done or what has happened, has, hemos, han with the ado, ido. If you want to say what you have been doing or what has been happening, it's going to be haber plus estado for been, and then ando, yendo for the ing form of the verb, right? So that's it. If I want to say the dog has been barking, el perro ha estado ladrando. My friends have been studying a lot. Mis amigos han estado estudiando mucho. You see, we give you the sum totality. We're going to go through all the tenses now, and you're going to be able to say have or has or would have had with any verb. You can be able to express anything you want. You know how to conjugate in the 7 tenses. You know how to do the first 3, right? The infinitive, the ing, and the ando, iendo, past participle. Then the 7 tenses. You can do that with any verb. Now when you do it with a star and you take the ando, yendo, like our last lesson, you can say so much. And now we're taking haber with the past participle, ando, iendo of any verb and making a great communication. Or you can say what you have been doing or something has been happening with haber plus estado and ando, yendo. So it's really exciting. The preterite, it's ube, ubiste, ubo, ubimos, ubieron. They don't use it. We don't use it at all in this instance, so just forget about it. The imperfect of haber is había, and we have the squiggly to indicate that the to form would be with an S, habías, then take the S off, habías, the same as the yo form. The we form, add an MOS, habíamos, and the they form, just add an N, the N factor for they, habían. Había, habías, había, habíamos, habían. Let's go with, we want to say now what had happened or what you had done. Okay, so let's try it. I had not known. No lo había sabido. I hadn't gone. No había ido. She had not slept a lot. Ella no había dormido mucho. We had not eaten. No habíamos comido. He hadn't done any homework. No había hecho ninguna tarea. They had not arrived. No habían llegado. The baby hadn't been born yet. El bebé todavía no había nacido. Had you thought about it? ¿Lo habías pensado? They hadn't bought the house yet. Todavía no habían comprado la casa. The had, yes, it's used, but nothing like the asa, emosan right here. Okay, now let's put it in the had been ing. If I want to say he had been barking a lot, the people had to get rid of the dog because it keeps the neighbors up at night. Sorry. El perro had been, había estado ladrando. Has been barking, ha estado ladrando. Had been barking, había estado ladrando. He put on weight. He had been eating a lot, comer. Había estado comiendo mucho. He had been eating a lot. Había estado comiendo mucho. They had been traveling a lot. Viajar, they. Habían estado viajando mucho. They had traveled a lot would just be habían viajado mucho. They had been traveling, habían estado viajando. Don't you see how great this is? Let's go down here to the future. Okay, you take HABR. It's haber in the future is irregular, but this is what you take, HABR, and the endings for future, as we know, a, as, a, emos, on. That's why I like all these lessons, because it keeps representing information that we have already learned. Repetition is the mother of learning, right? You break in a pair of shoes by wearing them often. You learn how to swim by practicing often, right? Okay, habré, habrás, habrá, habremos, habrán. This is will have. If you want to say something that you will have done, then you're going to go with, let's go with habré. For example, I will have finished, terminar. I will have finished by tomorrow. Para mañana, habré terminado. By 7 o'clock, we will have already eaten. Para las 7 ya habremos comido. This is not so common, but we do use it in English. You could say like, it will have arrived by tomorrow. Most people would say it will arrive by tomorrow, but you could say it will have arrived by tomorrow. People say things differently and communicate the same idea. It will have arrived. Llegar. Habrá. Habrá llegado para mañana, by tomorrow. Okay? They will have finished by next week. Habrán terminado para la semana próxima. Now, if you want to put it, they will have been, ing. Okay, let's just say by the end of this summer, they will have been living in the house for a year. Okay? Para el final de este verano, they will have been living. They will have, habrán, been, estado, vivir, viviendo. Habrán estado viviendo allí por un año. Okay? By when I graduate from college, I will have been studying Spanish for 8 years. Para cuando me gradúe, that's subjunctive, it hasn't happened yet, but that's not this lesson. Para cuando me gradúe de la universidad, I will have been studying Spanish for 8 years. Habré estado estudiando español por 8 años. Okay, let's go to the conditional right here. Habría with a squiggly. Habría. I would have rested. Yo habría descansado. I wouldn't have said anything. Yo no habría dicho nada. I would have gone. Yo habría ido. We would have helped. Habríamos ayudado. They would have come to the party. Ellos habrían venido a la fiesta. I would have paid the bill. Yo habría pagado la cuenta. I would have thought about it a little bit more. Yo lo habría pensado un poco más. Would have been, ing. I would have been thinking a little more. Yo habría estado pensando un poco más. I would have been working a little harder. Yo habría estado trabajando un poco más duro. They would have been calling. Habrían estado llamando. That's a conditional. Now the present subjunctive is haya, all the way out, and the past subjunctive is hubiera. The present subjunctive, haya, what does it mean? Have or has. It means the same as the present tense. For example, we have won, hemos ganado. Remember to use the present subjunctive. It's a 3-part sentence. Subjunctive, you need the tow vehicle, the hitch, and the verb in the opposite vowel. I hope that we have won. Espero que, stretch this out to we, hayamos ganado. I hope we have won. Espero que hayamos ganado. I hope we have not lost. Espero que no hayamos perdido. I hope they have done well on the test. Espero que hayan hecho bien en el examen. Comer, to your friend. I hope you've eaten. Espero que hayas comido. I hope you have brought a lot of water. Traer. Espero que hayas traído mucha agua. I hope you have read the book. Espero que hayas leído el libro. Okay? So there is your present subjunctive. Now your past subjunctive, had, same thing as right here. Had, have, and has, they match up. But we're going to see there's an optional verb number 9, past subjunctive usage. But let's go back here. Hubiera. I hope we have won. Espero que hayamos ganado. I was hoping we had won. Esperaba que hubiéramos. Put an MOS. Accent on the E. Esperaba que hubiéramos ganado. I was hoping that you had arrived on time. Esperaba que hubieras llegado a tiempo. I was hoping that it had not rained. Esperaba que no hubiera llovido. I was hoping that they had brought money. Esperaba que hubieran traído dinero. Again, when you get up to 8 and 9 in any verb, you're up there with the Hall of Famers, the big leaguers, okay? Subjunctive, it's critical to know because it's so common in sentences like, I want you to come over to my house, quiero que vengas a mi casa. But when you get over here with haber in the subjunctive, it's less common, but it's certainly common enough that you know you need to know how to use it. And when you use it correctly, as a Spanish teacher, I hear somebody using subjunctive correctly, they got it. Okay? They get Pablo's stamp of approval. They have got it. Okay, and I've given all sorts of tests for bilingual exams for city, for safety workers, police, and fire. And when I'm interviewing someone and they start throwing the subjunctive around, in a conversation, I don't even need to give the test. I do, but I already know that they're fluent. Okay, now we have an optional verb number 9, past subjunctive, right? We learned a couple lessons ago that hubiera with a capital H starting the sentence. Hubiera could mean should have, or hubiera could mean would have. Hubiera should have, right? Hubiera should have with your ado ido. I should have studied. Hubiera estudiado. I should have paid the bill. Hubiera pagado la cuenta. I should have gone to the game. Hubiera ido al partido. We talked about debería haber ido. Debería haber pagado. You can go back and look at the other lesson a few back about haber. But for today, we're just going to look at hubiera as should have and not debería haber plus ado ido, even though that works as well. Okay, we should have eaten before. Hubiéramos, right here, stretch it out. Hubiéramos comido antes. We should have brought water. Hubiéramos traído agua. You should have read the book. Hubieras leído el libro. You should have worked harder. Hubieras trabajado más duro. Would have. Hubiera. I like, and I told you before, I like habría for would have. But hubiera, for some people, they use it for would have. I wouldn't have said anything. Yo no hubiera dicho nada. I would not have given him the money. Yo no le hubiera dado el dinero. I would have stayed home. Yo me hubiera quedado en la casa. I would not have paid the bill. Yo no hubiera pagado la cuenta. We would have waited another day. Hubiéramos esperado otro día más. But let's go should have been with the ing. Piece of cake, watch this. I should have been working. Hubiera estado trabajando. I should have been sleeping more. Hubiera estado durmiendo más. We should have been eating less. Hubiéramos estado comiendo menos. You should have been listening. Hubieras estado escuchando. And then hubiera again for would have. I would have been helping. Yo hubiera estado ayudando. I would have been saving the money. Yo hubiera estado ahorrando el dinero. I would have been putting the money in the bank. Yo hubiera estado poniendo el dinero en el banco. So look at our chart. This board was huge, all sorts of clusters, and you're looking at it like Ali, jabbing at you, jabbing and jabbing. But look, it's getting easy. The Magnificent Seven, right? Come on. The 7 tenses in here, we get a break. We don't have to worry about the preterite of haber. It's not used. So again, to say what you have done or what has happened, you're going to go with the has, hemos, on with your ado, ido. To say what had happened or what you had done, you're going to go with había and ado, ido. To say what will have happened or you will have done, you're going to go with the habré, habrás, habrá, habremos, habrán with ado, ido. To say what you would have done, habría plus ado, ido, or what would have happened, habría plus ado, ido. And we go to the two subjunctives again. The present subjunctive is the same in translation as the present tense, and the past subjunctive with the small h is the same as the imperfect here in translation. And then, of course, the optional verb number 9, past subjunctive, hubiera, capital H, plus ado, ido can mean should have or would have, and hubiera plus estado, ando, yendo can mean should have been doing or would have been doing. Okay? So listen to this lesson a couple of times. Watch it again and again and again, because haber is critical. That lesson on estar is critical. With haber and estar in your hip pocket and the ability to take any verb and run it through the 7 conjugations, your verb problems are over. You just need to practice, listen, develop your listening skills. If you listen to people and it's hard to understand, you say they're really fast, they can be fast. That can be a fact. But your comprehension will speed up. And as you speed up your comprehension, then their rate of speech will seem to slow down a little bit. But there are people in Spanish like, and I'm saying, what was that? Right? That was a buzzsaw, right? But normal conversation with anybody that's just not going, you're going to be understood really well. But But sometimes people have a really fast way of speaking. In English, I have to ask them to slow down. Otra vez, por favor. Again, please. Más despacio, por favor. Slower, please. No tan rápido, por favor. Not so fast. I have a friend who's from Mexico, and oh my golly, it's just like one big long slur, and it's hard for me to understand him. And then I asked him to slow down, and yeah, but everybody, other fluent native speakers have a rough time understanding him as well. So don't ever get discouraged if you're listening to a conversation and you're not totally with it. It will come and it will get better. And maybe that person is just talking so fast that maybe only the people that live with him or her 24/7 pick up onto it that fast. But be encouraged because you're doing so very well. To be able to do this, textbooks, I'm telling you, textbooks, it would take them 2 years to get to all of this, or maybe 3 years, or maybe 4th year Spanish, you get to this stuff. I'm telling you, that's just the way it is. We can hit it all in one lesson. You've got to see the sum totality, right? Otherwise, you freak out and think, oh my gosh, all these verbs, all these conjugations, all these verb tenses. I'll tell you right now, textbooks, standard, traditional, foreign language instruction will try to teach you that there are 28 tenses. That's insanity. Total insanity. They throw glass down where you're walking. They make it more difficult for you to learn. I'm telling you, this is the lowest common denominator of Spanish. All you have to do is learn the 7 tenses, so you can conjugate any verb in the 7 tenses, and know that sometimes you're going to add 0, the infinitive, to them, like quiero ir, I want to go, okay? Sometimes you're going to take haber in the present, and you're going to add an ado, ido, right? Like no he comido, I have not eaten. Or you might say, I have not been eating a lot. No he estado comiendo mucho. Well, they try to say, well, those are the simple, those are the progressives, those are the perfects, those are the perfect progressives. Forget it. It just blows my mind how people will use such a archaic way of teaching a foreign language. So this is Profesor Pablo Spanish, and this is my entire creation. Dr. Frankenstein created a monster. I think I have created, even though you know I love Frankenstein, I think I have created a simple and direct, immediate way to learn Spanish and to be able to say so much in a short amount of time, if you're willing and you put the practice in. Anyway, so much for that. Thank you guys. You're the best. And keep those comments coming. If you have difficulty with something and you watch it again or a third time and you're still not getting it, please address that in a comment to me, and I will try to address it with a lesson if necessary, okay? So thank you so much for your comments. Get them from Finland, from India, from Canada, from England, the United States, South America. We get them from all over the world. So our program is growing, and let's grow it even more. Doesn't cost a thing. This is all free. All these lessons that we have and so on, nada, no cuesta nada. Es gratis. No cuesta nada. Okay. Ciao. Con mucho cariño. Besos y abrazos. Hasta luego. Bye-bye.